Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Don't mind me, I was just clicky-clacking computer stuff. Well, you stopped by at the right time because... Woo boy! Woo doggies! Do I have a crazy story for you? What is up, my brethren? Today I'm coming back at you with another super weird story that could have come directly from a horror or sci-fi movie or novel or novella, comic book, your media of choice. This story comes straight from the Netherlands, about 130 kilometers northeast of Amsterdam, where a Dutch family comprised of a father, identified as Gerrit Jan Van Dorsten, with 5 children, all adults, ranging in ages from 18 to 25, have been discovered in a small space that could be locked within a farmhouse. Allegedly, they were waiting for the end of the world. Some sources reported that there was a hidden staircase that led down to a basement where the family was being held. Other sources said that it was just a small room, a small space within the farmhouse that could be locked where the family was kept. They have allegedly been there since 2010, so basically for 9 years, waiting out the end of times. Supposedly, some of them didn't even know other people even existed, that there were other people in the world. The family was discovered after their oldest son, Jan Zon van Dorsten. I apologize if I'm saying any of the names wrong. I'm doing my best. I'm not a news reporter. I just like weird shit. Jan Zon van Dorsten escaped. According to sources, he had made multiple attempts. The first time he tried to go to the pub, they were actually closing down. So he went back later, where he, according to eyewitnesses, drank 5 beers. Why wouldn't you, right? And rather than being questioned by police right away, he wanted to have a few drinks first. And I suppose if I was locked in a basement or a small room for a long time, maybe I'd want to have a few drinks too. So he drank 5 beers and then told his story to the staff, the pub employees, and solicited help because he wanted to end the way that he and his family were living. The oldest son claims that they were all from the same family, but police say that they're investigating because none of the children were reported to authorities. They didn't register them. I don't know what the Dutch equivalent of a social security number is, but they don't have any of that.
Yeah, you've just been erased.
According to sources, all of the children were born inside their home. At the pub, when the son was talking to police, he said that I'm not going to be in any of your records. I'm not going to be in any of your computers. When police investigated the house, there's a 58-year-old man there named Josef Brunner. Some sources refer to him just as Josef B. Other sources refer to him as Josef Brunner. I'm not 100% sure exactly what his name is. That's the interesting thing about this case too, is that there's a lot of different information from different sources. So this Josef character is a 58-year-old man from Austria who was renting the farmhouse where the children and the father were found. I keep saying children, but keep in mind, these are all adults ranging from ages 18 to 25. A different source that I read said 16 to 25, but every other source other than that said 18 to 25. So it sounds like all of the children are of what would be considered in the United States legal age, over 18. So they arrested Josef at the scene because he didn't cooperate with the investigation. And I guess a few days later, they also arrested the father, who's the 67-year-old man named Gerrit Jan Van Dorsten. They believe that he's potentially involved in the detainment of these children in the house. The police have noted that the children are being cared for by specialists, while a team of 30 people were investigating the house looking for evidence. Neighbors said that they thought that one person was living in the house and was just renovating the house and the property. So police have said, we have reasons to suspect that the 6 persons involved did not stay at the house of their own free will. We are investigating whether a certain religion or philosophy forms the cause of their living situation. So just to be clear, from what I can tell, authorities haven't actually confirmed the idea of this end of days or end of civilization or end of the world, but multiple media sources have reported that the father and this other Austrian gentleman were involved in some kind of cult. So according to a source and people that knew Josef in town, they said he was never very friendly. He never had a wife or a girlfriend. He never went to the bar. He just seemed kind of mysterious. He never had any friends or was friends with anyone. So this source believes that the father of the family and Josef, so Gerrit and Josef, have known each other for a long time and were formerly neighbors. I guess they lived next to each other, and they even removed a dividing fence between their properties in the backyard. According to Gerrit's brother, they were a member of a church called the Unification Church, who I guess also released a statement to Rolling Stone saying they were alarmed that the family was being held under these conditions. Their statement seemingly confirmed that Gerrit was previously a member of this church in the 1980s, but said that he had mental issues, mental health problems, and that he left the organization in 1987. That could be related, or it could be a totally unrelated thing. It's circumstantial at this point, but given the circumstances, it seems like some kind of extreme belief or ideology would be at the root of holding your family hostage for 9 years. In an even more interesting twist, the son who reported the issue, Jan Zon van Dorsten, had a social media account and was posting pictures to his social media. And in one case, also posted a picture of him talking about his job, talking about the work that he was doing. As it turns out, though, the work was through Josef Brunner's or Josef B's carpentry business. So the work that he was doing was through Josef, which actually makes sense because if he doesn't have any identifying information or registered with the government, how can he work and pay taxes and do all the things that you have to do in society? Now, as for the mother, the mayor of the town reported that she had passed away before they moved into the farmhouse. I'm not sure how they knew that. It seems like an odd fact to interject, or whatever you want to call it, but that's what's being reported right now. Another interesting twist to the story is that Josef's brother, Franz, has spoken out against him. He spoke to the media saying that his brother has previous ties to a cult and that he's a very persuasive person. He said he's greedy, calculating, and unpredictable. This is the guy's brother. At this point, there are a lot of questions that remain for me about this story. It doesn't seem like anybody's 100% sure exactly what was going on at the property and exactly who was involved to what capacity. I think it adds an interesting dynamic that all of the people there were adults. However, they had been there for 9 years, which means that those kids were kept there as minors without a choice being held against their will. It doesn't sound like they had a choice of whether or not they wanted to be there. How did the family end up in this farmhouse? How did they survive for so long? Some sources claim that they were living off a garden that was on the property, living off of the garden and animals. But are there enough animals and a big enough garden to sustain 7 people? That seems like kind of crazy. Why did it take the oldest son so long to report it? I mean, he was 25 years old at the time. This had been going on for 9 years. So he would have been in his late teens when this whole thing started. But then again, we don't know anything about his upbringing prior to that. It sounds like he had been working for this Josef's company in a nearby village for some time. Why didn't he tell anyone else during that time? Why didn't he post anything on social media? What prompted him to create social media accounts? And I guess ultimately, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? What was it that finally convinced him that he needed to make a change? With that, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. What do you guys think? Like, what is this case? What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. So keep in mind, this is an ongoing investigation. There's new information coming out about it all the time. There may have been stuff that I missed. I tried to summarize all of the key points as well as I could, but if I missed anything, definitely let me know in the comments about that as well. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you like what I'm doing here and you like these weird stories that I'm covering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. I'll try to provide updates as they come in about this story as well as the Natalia Barnett story that I've been covering. Take it easy. Stay classy. I'll speak to you soon.